Honestly, I wasn't expecting that.
This was never your city. It's mine.
If I don't destroy the collider, none of us will have a home to go home to.
Remember, what makes you different
Let's go!
is what makes you Spider-Man.
Officer, I love you.
Wait, what?
Hello there everybody, it's me, the Canadian Movie Buff, with a review of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Into the Spider-Verse follows Miles Morales, a teenager bitten by a radioactive spider and develops these strange powers. But as it turns out, these powers may have come in just in time, as Kingpin has opened a portal to multiple dimensions and more spider people come in, and they all need to team up to foil Kingpin's plan and send each respective spider person back home. After the Emoji Movie, Sony Animation was at a really bad place. Sure, they had the Hotel Transylvania movie come out earlier this year, but it was still pretty low quality animation. I mean, they would need an unbelievably incredible movie to wash that stain that was the Emoji Movie off their records. They needed a movie with unique animation, great writing, awesome humor, and a lot of effort. In other words, they couldn't have found a better project if they tried. You know, I think the number one problem that animated movies have today is that they all feel the same. But with this one, it feels completely unique. The outlines and the missing frames make it feel as if you're watching an actual comic book. And they meticulously went through everything to make sure that every little detail made it feel like a comic book come to life. And with that animation comes the freedom to pull off shots that would be impossible to do in live action. Beautiful animation such as this, with gorgeous cinematography, makes for some of the best visuals I have ever seen in a superhero movie of 2018. I also really enjoyed how they handled all the different spider people. I thought it was a very good introduction of Miles Morales, as well as other characters like Spider-Gwen or Spider-Man or Penny Parker or Spider-Ham. Peter Parker is this mentor to Miles Morales, and I love the back and forth and interaction they have with each other. Peter Parker's a few years old in this one. He's in his 30s, he has a bit more life experience under his belt. He knows that at one point in his life he was a reckless teenager with these amazing powers. And so, with the others helping him teach how to become a true spider person, it brings a sense of responsibility that the character probably hasn't had for quite some time in his universe. And of course, being a Phil Lord and Chris Miller movie, the humor is on point. There is a bit of self-aware humor with Spider-Ham and Spider-Noir, and it never gets distracting. Most of the humor comes from the same way you get humor from any other Spider-Man movie, with Miles Morales being an awkward teenager. I just want to say that the casting choice for each spider person was perfect. I look forward to seeing what Miller, Lord, and Sony can cook up for these characters in the future. There was also really good music throughout this, but that's definitely more subjective because the music is mostly rap or trap music, which of course is very popular nowadays. So whether or not you enjoy the music of this movie will depend on how you enjoyed that genre. I had to be honest, I had to really think about something negative to say about this movie. And thinking back, I guess if I had to pick anything, it would be the villains. I thought the motivation for Kingpin was interesting, but they never really embellish on it that much. Don't get me wrong, it's good that they made the villain's motives clear in this movie, but we never really get to see him fleshed out as a third-dimensional character. If anything, I think the main villain of this movie should have been Prowler. Mahershala Ali is fantastic voicing the role. Along with Nicolas Cage as Spider-Noir, he probably voiced audition for the role and they're like, that's it, call up the search, we found our guy. But yeah, the villains didn't feel all that tangible in this movie. I like the interactions between all the spider people and how Miles was becoming this superhero, but the best Spider-Man villains are the ones you have a little bit of sympathy towards. That is why I think Vulture is what made Spider-Man Homecoming such a fantastic film. And of course, being a Sony movie, it did spoil almost the entire plot. It doesn't take away from the movie all too much, but the problem is, by the time you get to the third trailer, it more or less becomes a game of, wait, the movie can't be over, we haven't seen that scene yet. Also, drawing back on what I said earlier about how I like to see all these characters being fleshed out in future movies, I think that's good, but I just hope Sony doesn't do with these characters what Warner Brothers has done with Lego. 2 movies a year, okay? Take your time, make them great, even if it takes another decade to get all the stories out. Heck, if it even takes the rest of Miller-Lord's career, take these characters and put them in good movies. That's all we ask. Into the Spider-Verse is a phenomenal superhero movie. By taking inspiration directly from the source and giving us a fun-filled adventure that also has strong moments of dramatic heft, as well as opening up a universe full of possibilities, it is a movie that pushes the boundaries of what a superhero movie can be. Much like how the earlier Marvel movies opened the door for cinematic universes, and how Deadpool opened the way for R-rated superhero films, this movie will pave the way for more animated films done in this style. They don't even have to be superhero films, they can just be graphic novels of certain characters. In the right style, a Hellboy movie could be animated. Regardless of how big or small a fan you are of Spider-Man, or even superheroes and Marvel in general, this is a movie that everyone will enjoy. This is by far the best surprise movie of the year, and arguably the best superhero movie of the year. It is definitely worth your time because it is a total incrediblast. Alright, that's my review of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? What are some spin-offs you would love to see? Personally, I wouldn't mind a whole movie with Nick Cage as Spider-Noir. Sort of make it a mystery dark comedies type thing. Heck, if you even want to go for a PG-13 rating with some more risque humor, go for it. Leave your answer by commenting down below, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you're new here. And as always, this is the Canadian Movie Buff saying I hope you had a fantastic weekend at the movies. See ya!